Hello and welcome to LyricPad 3 Tips and Tricks. I'm Ian Lane. In this video, I'd like to show you how I set up and use LyricPad 3 in my live performances. I've used this setup for hundreds of performances with no problems, and I find it really works well for me, and hopefully you'll find it useful. Now, for performing, I use this 8-inch TCL tablet. I find it works really well because it's large enough where I can see the lyrics, yet small enough where it's not a distraction to the audience. You can pick up one of these tablets on Amazon for around $100 US, or used on eBay for around $50. I'll put a link down below. Of course, any Android tablet will work, but you may have to adjust some of the settings for your display. Now, when it comes to selecting songs for your performance, LyricPad 3 has an excellent interface that allows you to create set lists, and it also allows you to add songs and change the order of the songs during your performance on the fly. And this works great. But because of my style of performing, I prefer to select songs based on the crowd and on any requests I receive. Normally, I just create a set list in Word and print it off, and I use that as a guideline. So let me show you how I use LyricPad 3 in my performances. The first thing we need to do is to set up LyricPad. From the main screen, click on the gear icon at the bottom right to enter Setup. Select the first option. Now disable Load Set List. This will prevent LyricPad 3 from asking to load a set list every time you enter Perform mode. Next, select the Timeline option. These options control what happens when you select a song. Set the time delay to 1 second. This will start the song when you select it after a 1-second delay. If you set it to 0, the song will be paused until you manually start it. Next, set the count-in timer. This will give you a count-in time before the automation starts. I find that 5 seconds works well for me. If you are using backing tracks, this is also the time that LyricPad 3 will wait before the track starts playing. If you are using backing tracks, I highly recommend using an audio editor to trim any silence from the beginning of your track before the audio actually starts. This will ensure that the countdown timer and the audio will be in sync. The next selection is count-in bars, and I leave it at 0. The last setting is used with the setlist feature, so you can leave it at 60 seconds. Next, select the automation option. These options control the lyric scrolling automation. Enable the automation system. Disabling this will turn off any lyric scrolling. Now, enable basic automation. This allows you to enter commands in your lyric file in the Edit section to control scrolling. And if you are upgrading from LyricPad to LyricPad 3, this allows LyricPad 3 to recognize and convert your old tags. This also sets the default scrolling start and scrolling speed. Note that these are the defaults and should be set when editing your lyric file. I would recommend doing it this way through the editor. I only use these features when I have to download a song from the internet during a performance. I have found that for my 8-inch tablet, a scroll speed of 20 and a 40-second delay before scrolling starts works well. Finally, enable Intelligent Automation. This will select the correct scroll start and scroll speed depending on a number of factors, such as the song duration, size of your screen, your font size, number of lines in your lyric, and so on. I give the creator of LyricPad, Daniel Nielsen, a lot of credit because this feature works really well and I use it in almost all of my songs and it works great. Next, select On-Screen Controls. The first option controls the side panels on the Perform screen. The The first setting controls how long they are displayed on the screen. I normally set this for 5 seconds. You can long press on this screen at any time to redisplay them. The next set of options control how the on-screen buttons are displayed and which ones we're going to use. First, enable the buttons. I set the position to floating bottom right. This positions them out of the way of the lyrics. And I set the size to medium. Play Next Song is used with setlist, so I disable it. Enable Add Next Song and enable Reload. This will give you buttons to select a song and restart it if necessary. Next are the controls for backing tracks. If you do not use backing tracks, you can disable the first option and ignore the next 3 options. Since I use backing tracks, I select Footer, Center, and Small. This displays a playback bar showing the playback progress. Next, enable audio playback so you can hear your backing track. The next options display a metronome. I don't use this feature, so I disable it. The sidebar is used for any notes you might have or any other information. I don't use this either, so I have it disabled. Next, song display is used with setlist, so I have it disabled. Finally, time display. This displays a timer that shows the count-in time and the number of seconds that the song has been playing. We previously set the count-in time to 5 seconds, so this will tell you when your song starts. Enable this and set the position to floating top right and mini. Now, depending on the size of your tablet, you may want to experiment with these settings to get the best results for you. Now, select the Add Song Screen option. These options are mainly used with the set list. The only one we need to change is Submenu Style. This controls how the song titles are displayed. If you do not have a lot of songs, you can select None. This will display all the songs in alphabetical order. You can also display songs grouped by artist, category, or genre. These are set in the Edit section in Information. I prefer the A-B submenu. This allows the songs to be displayed grouped by A and B, C and D, and so on. Next, enable Web Search. If you download a song from the internet during your performance, this will allow you to automatically open the song as the current song. Finally, select Lyric Display Text Files. These are also the defaults and can be set on a lyric-by-lyric basis in the editor. I prefer black lyrics on a white background, but if you prefer a different color scheme, this is where you can change it. I find a font size of 20 works well on my 8-inch tablet. Setting the font type to Droid Sans Mono will allow chords to align correctly when importing songs from the internet. I also enable title and artist, which allows that info to be displayed at the top during playback. I have covered the rest of these settings in my previous video on how to use the lyric search function, and I'll put a link down below. Now we have LyricPad 3 configured for use during a performance, so let's go back to the main screen. If you are using band folders, make sure that the correct one is selected, and then hit Perform. Now hit the Add Next Song button. This is the screen that allows us to select our songs. The buttons on the top allow us to filter the songs in various ways. One of the nice features of LyricPad 3 is that you can long press on any button, and a description of what that button does will be displayed on the bottom. The first button will display all of your songs in the current band folder in alphabetical order. The next 3 buttons will group the songs according to the first letter, either by the first letter, the first 2 letters, or the first 3 letters. As I said, I prefer grouping by the first 2 letters. The next 2 buttons will display your songs by artist or category. And the last button will display songs by genre. if you entered that into the information screen in Edit. Below that is the band filter. When highlighted, only the songs in your selected band folder are displayed. By pressing this button, all of your songs are displayed, with the band folder information also being displayed. This is helpful if you need a song in another band folder, and it prevents you from having to exit the Perform mode to reselect another band. The next three buttons under this control where a new song is put in your set list. Since we're not using the set list feature, we can ignore these buttons. The I button will display the song information of the highlighted song, and the magnifying glass will call up the Internet Lyrics search function. Now we're ready to select our song. I'm going to use the song American Pie, so I would select A, B, and then highlight the song by pressing it. I've configured this song to use basic automation, and I have it set to start scrolling after 5 seconds. Then pause at line 3 for 20 seconds, and then start scrolling at a speed of 25. I programmed all these settings in the Create screen, and they override the default settings we programmed earlier. Now select the Add Song button to start the song. When you press this button, the countdown timer will start counting backwards from the delay you selected in Setup, in this case 5 seconds. When the counter reaches 0, the playback counter will start and the automation will also start. The lyric scrolls down to line 3 and stops. Then after 25 seconds, scrolling starts. This is the 20 seconds that I selected in the Create screen, plus the 5-second scroll start time. While the song is playing, you can scroll the display up and down by dragging the screen. You can also pause the scrolling by tapping the screen, and then restart the scrolling by tapping the screen again. And if you want to restart the song for whatever reason, press this button and the song will restart. After the song is finished, to return to the Song Select screen, just press the Add Song button. Now let's try this with a song with a backing track. We'll use one of mine, Island Time. So we select I and J, then highlight the song. I have this song set to Intelligent Automation. The scrolling is controlled by the song duration, which is set again in the Create Screen Information section. Press the Add Song button to start the song. Since this song has a backing track, the playback bar is displayed on the bottom. You can press the pause button to stop the backing track playback, but be aware that this will not pause the scrolling. If you wish to stop the song, perhaps because you selected the wrong song, make sure to hit the pause button before hitting the Add Song button to go back, because the backing track will continue to play. Well, I hope you found that useful and that you found something you can use in your performances. If you'd like to see more videos like this, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you have any topics you'd like to see me cover, just leave a comment down below. So until the next time, I'm Ian Lane, and thanks for watching.